Monsieur le Président de la Commission Coopération, Monsieur le Vice-président de la Commission Coopération, chers parlementaires du Forum parlementaire sur les armes légères et à petit calibre, Madame la secrétaire générale du Forum parlementaire sur les armes légères et de petit calibre, honorables chers parlementaires, Mesdames et Messieurs, distingués invités, je voudrais tout d'abord, au nom de l'équipe du secrétaire général, vous souhaiter la bienvenue au Parlement panafricain et vous dire combien nous sommes honorés de vous recevoir pour débattre des questions aussi importantes, des questions aussi cruciales qui mettent les parlementaires au centre de l'activité qui concerne le renforcement de l'engagement de l'action parlementaire pour des sociétés pacifiques, durablement développées, notamment le volet des mises en œuvre du programme de développement à l'horizon 2030, du traité du commerce des armes et du programme d'action des Nations Unies sur la prévention et la lutte et l'éradication du commerce illicite des armes. Je voudrais rappeler que l'objectif de cet atelier vise à fournir des outils permettant aux parlementaires d'influencer durablement la mise en œuvre du programme de développement durable à l'horizon 2030, du traité sur le commerce des armes et du programme d'action des Nations Unies pour la prévention, la lutte et l'élimination du commerce illicite des armes légères sous tous ses aspects. Ceci étant, Mesdames et Messieurs, je voudrais vous décliner rapidement le programme d'ouverture officielle de l'activité de ce matin, qui se décline comme suit. Le premier intervenant sera l'honorable Abdoulaye Ali, vice-président de la Commission Coopération. Cette intervention de bienvenue à l'ensemble des parlementaires ici présents et des experts sera suivie par l'intervention de l'honorable Raphaël Cheguini, vice-président du Forum parlementaire sur les armes légères et de petit calibre. Ensuite, interviendra Madame Karine Olofsson, secrétaire générale du Forum. Et enfin, l'allocution d'ouverture sera dite par l'honorable Aboubakar Sidi Koné, président de la Commission Coopération. Sans plus tarder, je voudrais, chers honorables, avec votre permission, inviter le premier intervenant, à savoir l'honorable Abdoulaye Ali, vice-président de la Commission Coopération, à dire son mot de bienvenue. Honorable, je vous en prie.
Good morning, everybody. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, mine is just to opening remarks, as you've been told, to welcome you guys to this assembly today. It gives me great pleasure to welcome each and every one of you. By the way, I'm not the vice chair, I'm the rapporteur for the Committee of Cooperation and International Relations. Now, I'm a senator from Kenya. It gives me great pleasure to welcome each one and everyone present here today. From the onset, I want to thank the Pan-African Parliament and the Parliamentary Forum on Small Arms and Light Weapons on their willingness to partner with PAP, Pan-African Parliament, on this important issue of combating and eradicating the illicit trade in small arms and light weapons. Ladies and gentlemen, The participants of this workshop are drawn from various committees of the Pan-African Parliament and also members of Parliament from member states. There are some from other countries, others from member states, and partners who are with us here today, as the subject is cross-cutting and affects each one of us regardless of our committees and where we come from in the continent. The issue we'll engage in over the next 2 days will capacitate members on the current treaties and conventions in place that talk to the subject of illicit trade in small arms and light weapons. Besides that, members will share country experiences on how far their respective countries are in domesticating existing legislation. As I conclude, allow me to remind each one of us of the commitments of our heads of state and government to the African Union, Agenda 2063 and Vision 2030, which speak to peaceful, secure continent. By 2020, we are supposed to have silenced the guns. It is this very challenge of illicit trade in small arms that is the biggest stumbling block to achieving the desired results. Honorable members and guests, my mandate today is to simple task to welcome you all to PAP. I'm sure we will have enough time to interact among ourselves and informally enrich our knowledge on this agenda of today. Thank you and welcome.
Merci, honorable. J'invite à présent l'honorable Raphaël Chedigui, vice-président du Forum parlementaire sur les armes légères et des petits calibres, à dire son mot.
Good morning to you all. Jambo. Can you say jambo?
Jambo sana.
Jambo sana? Habari gani? That's very good. You know, Swahili is a widely spoken language now in Africa. It was born in Tanzania, got sick in Kenya, and was hospitalized in Uganda, and probably was buried in Congo, DRC. But now, is now revived now in all the whole continent now to speak about Swahili. And is one of the language of the Pan-African Parliament. Your Excellency and honorable members who are here today, Honorable Abdrai Ali, our rapporteur, distinguished members, ladies and gentlemen, as a Vice President of the Parliamentary Forum on Small Arms and Light Weapons and a member of the Pan-African Parliament, it is a true honor to be here today and be part of this important joint effort to strengthen parliamentary action on the prevention and reduction of armed violence perpetrated by small arms and light weapons. In the world of today, and in several countries in Africa, the uncontrolled proliferation and trafficking of illicit small arms and light weapons is an urgent issue and a recurring securing dilemma. As highlighted in the study by Oxfam from 2017, the concentration of most of African estimated 100 million and small arms and light weapons in crisis zone and other security challenging environments often exacerbates and prolongs conflicts. Proxy wars, intercommunal strife, and armed conflicts characterize many regions in Africa in these small arms and light weapons, which constitute a major threat to the lives of most men, women, and children. In view of the human costs of uncontrolled arms, including injuries and fatalities, internally displaced people and refugees, erosion of social cohesion and community trust, which accelerating poverty and gender-based violence. We as parliamentarians must increase our effort to take concise and effective steps to tackle the proliferation of small arms and light weapons. You can easily be a member of parliament, but it's very hard to be a parliamentarian. Now, I argue this occasion that who are we here today? We should be turning ourselves from being member of parliament to be parliamentarians. The international instruments which the implementation for 2030 agenda, specifically the Sustainable Development Goal 16.4 on peace, justice and strong institutions, and its specific targets on the reduction of illicit arms flows is a central framework where parliamentarians from all over countries must join forces. This goal should be linked with Sustainable Development Goal number 5 on gender equality. In addition, collaboration with the other actors, including governments, actors, and civil society, women's organizations, and youth, is necessary to achieve this goal. Honorable members, it is a unique recognition in the Agenda 2030 as an international framework that specifically highlights armed violence as an obstacle to sustainable development. It is therefore a unique opportunity to integrate the work of against the profession and the use of small arms light weapons in a wider context to also include the action focused on the social and economic costs caused by arms violence. Honorable members, to achieve this, it is important to take of the link between SDG 16 and SDG 5 in the Agenda 2030, and the international instruments including the Armed Trade Treaty and the United Nations Plan of Action to prevent, combat, and eradicate the illicit trade in small arms and light weapons in all its aspects. I repeat it, in all its aspects. Honorable members, this seminar today seeks to provide parliamentarians from the Parliamentary Forum and members of the relevant commissions in the Pan-African Parliament with the policy tools that will allow us to work at a national and regional level to advance the 2030 agenda and Armed Trade Treaty and the United Nations Program of Action. Honorable members, in addition, the seminar will support the parliamentarians in their role connected to the legislation, oversight, and awareness raising. Finally, the seminar also will provide an excellent opportunity for all relevant actors, parliamentarians, civil society organizations, representatives from the government, and diplomats to exchange points of view and carry out a constructive dialogue around the implementation of the 2030 agenda, including the Arms Trade Treaty and the United Nations Program of Action. As the Vice President of the Board of Parliamentary Forum on Small Arms Weapons, members of Pan-African Parliament, and a member of Parliament from Tanzania, I know the important impact and influence the parliamentarians have on national and international work to prevent and reduce the armed violence. I encourage all parliamentarians present today to take advantage of the opportunity that this seminar presents and the knowledge that will be shared among ourselves. And to strengthen your parliamentary action in your national parliament, as well as at regional and international level, which will aim to prevent and reduce armed violence on our continent, our beautiful and beloved continent of Africa. We are the only vulnerable to these small arms and light weapons. We never manufacture, but we are the victims. How do you get out of it? It's you and me. It's you and me to put our effort together, put our unity, and make sure that strongly we stand and make sure that we can silence the guns in our countries and promote sustainable peace and development. You won't have development if there's no peace. This is quite reflected. And because you are from Africa and where we are, it is a resource-based conflict, which drives to these armed conflicts and violences. So, my dear colleagues, my dear members, it's now our turn that we have to stand very strongly. No one can speak on our behalf. It is ourselves. We must speak on ourselves. I thank you so much.
Je retiens que, comme l'a si bien dit l'honorable, il n'y a pas de développement sans la paix. Effectivement, cette problématique de lutte contre les flux illicites des armes qui place les parlementaires au cœur de la lutte constitue le point essentiel, en ce sens qu'il constitue aussi un pan important du thème de l'année 2020 de l'Union africaine. Ceci est d'une importance telle que cette action de renforcement de capacité, cet exercice de renforcement de capacité est plus que nécessaire. À présent, j'invite Madame Karine Olosfo, secrétaire générale du Forum parlementaire sur les armes légères de petit calibre, à prononcer son mot. Madame, je vous en prie.
Your Excellencies, Honorable Kone, Chairperson of the Committee of Cooperation, International Relations and Conflict Resolution, Honorable Abdullahi Ali, Rapporteur of the same committee, Honorable Dr. Rafael Shegeni, Member of Parliament of Tanzania, and Vice President of the Parliamentary Forum on Small Arms and Light Weapons, and Mr. Gali Maru, Clerk of the Pan-African Parliament. Honorable parliamentarians, distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen. It may be a brother or a sister. It may be a mother or a father. It may be a daughter or a son. During these 2 coming days, when we will discuss different aspects of the parliamentary engagement and action for more peaceful and sustainable developed societies, let us never, my friends, forget the human beings, the human perspectives that are behind the statistics and the political processes and the policies. When it comes to people losing their lives by violence committed by small arms and light weapons. My name is Karin Olofsson, and I'm the Secretary General of the Parliamentary Forum on Small Arms and Light Weapons. Allow me to express my sincerest gratitude to everyone here present today, representing different stakeholders and areas of expertise. Gathering around this important cause is a vital step, strengthening our common efforts to realize a more peaceful world. Allow me also to express my sincere gratitude for the generous support and collaboration from the Pan-African Parliament and for agreeing to organize this seminar with the Forum. Let me also express gratitude to the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, SIDA, for financial support underpinning this effort. The situation in the world related to armed violence is very serious. 1 billion firearms are circulating in the world. The vast majority, 85% of them, are in civilian hands, according to research by the Small Arms Survey. 13% are in military arsenals, and 2% are owned by law enforcement agencies. Globally, 210,000 persons are killed every year by small arms and light weapons. Here in South Africa, 16 persons are killed every day by guns, according to criminal statistics and National Murder Study. These disturbing facts underline the urgency of our shared reality, and it calls for concise and effective measures to prevent armed violence. Armed conflicts and violence, regardless of its scale, are enabled by the uncontrolled availability of small arms and light weapons. The misuse of these arms has consequences worldwide. As highlighted repeatedly by the Secretary General of the United Nations in his reports on small arms and light weapons to the Security Council, such weapons are multipliers of violence and fuel conflict, impede peace and the sustainable development. In Africa, several countries are severely affected by the flow of illicit arms. According to a study by Oxfam, the human cost of uncontrolled arms on the continent include injuries and fatalities, as we also heard referred to before. And the risk of gender-based violence heightens in conflict situations. And it is estimated that about 45.6% of African women have experienced violence as a result of armed conflict, compared to 35% globally. This is, of course, unacceptable violations. Hence, the African Union flagship initiative, Silencing the Guns by the year 2020, which we also heard referred to about earlier, is so vital to end all wars, civil conflicts, gender-based violence, and preventing genocide in the continent by 2020. And obviously, it's evident that the objective of this seminar clearly aligns to the objective of silencing the guns on behalf of the African Union. The African Center for the Constructive Resolution of Disputes, ACCORD, reports that 5 million fatalities on the continent over the past 50 years can be attributed to small arms and light weapons, which amounts to approximately 100,000 deaths per year during that period. Moreover, firearms were used in 28% of the homicides committed in 54 African countries, according to the United Nations. The question of uncontrolled arms, their illicit acquisition and their transfer is a recurring security dilemma in Africa. Only a minor percentage of the illicit arms are produced on the continent, as arms are commonly introduced via illegal channels. The majority of the estimated 30 million uncontrolled small arms and light weapons on the continent are found in crisis zones and other security challenged environments, as confirmed by the study of ACCORD. Most conflicts in Africa involve non-state actors using these weapons. Since non-state actors, including militias, warlords, have no legal authority to purchase or bear arms, they resort to illicit means of arms acquisition, mainly through diversion from state stockpiles, black markets and trafficking, as well as from unauthorized local arms producers. Small arms and light weapons considerably increase the lethality of violence committed by non-state actors, with devastating costs to individual, families and communities. The horrendous actions of such actors could be prevented with a tighter and more effective arms control. In sum, the availability and uncontrolled flow of small arms and light weapons negatively affects sustainable development and peace and pose a threat to human security. Every human life lost by bullet, be it a woman, a man, a boy or a girl, is a loss for the loved ones of this person and for the whole society. Let us not forget that it is also a violation of the right to life that is embodied in the Article 3 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Everyone has the right to life, liberty and security in his person. In the challenging world of today, we must focus on opportunities that exist to contribute to a more peaceful world, including prevention of armed violence. And we must work together, hand in hand, across the world and across party political lines to find solutions. And your presence here is a clear sign of determination and commitment to seek ways forward together. Political will is vital for realizing efforts on prevention of armed violence in national and regional context. Therefore, this seminar is one way to increase parliamentary understanding and actions of international instruments that guide and regulate conventional arms control in relation to international processes. A vital step paving the way for increased human security and peace is to strengthen parliamentary commitment in the implementation of the Arms Trade Treaty, the United Nations Programme of Action to Prevent, Combat and Eradicate the Illicit Trade in Small Arms and Light Weapons in all its aspects, and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. that together provide a solid platform to pave the way for a more peaceful world. In the recent first ever continental analysis of illicit arms flow in Africa, the African Union Commission and the Small Arms Survey identify the scale, availability, characteristics and supply patterns of illicit small arms in Africa. Among the key findings, it is noted that while illicit weapons in Africa remain dominated by old weapons, seizures of newer models point to new and emerging sources of small arms-like weapons to equip criminal actors active on the continent. External sources of these illicit arms include embargo-breaking transfers, primarily from Middle East and Eastern Africa. This highlights the need to ensure the effective implementation of instruments such as the Arms Trade Treaty and the United Nations Programme of Action, a task where parliamentary oversight is vital. This seminar builds on the Forum's initiative Connecting the Dots, realized during 2017 and 2018. Connecting the dots, that is, identifying synergy effects in the use of the 3 international instruments that I mentioned before, with the aim to boost implementation. Regional seminars were realized in collaboration during this initiative with the Latin American and Caribbean Parliament, Southeast Asian Interparliamentary Assembly, and here in the Pan-African Parliament in March 2018, where parliamentary priorities and recommendations were condensed into a regional parliamentary action plan. Then the 3 regional action plans were presented in a global parliamentary action plan at a side event with parliamentarians present, arranged by the Parliamentary Forum at the UN last year, when it was the 3rd revision conference relating to the United Nations Programme of Action. I am delighted to be here in the Pan-African Parliament again, as one important purpose of this seminar is to share experiences and monitor follow-up of results and actions, positive experience and challenges in the parliamentary work as expressed in the action plan, as well as to realize necessary revisions to adopt an updated parliamentary action plan that can guide future parliamentary efforts. We, the Parliamentary Forum on Small Arms and Light Weapons, are an organization where our members, the parliamentarians, constitute the core of our work. The Forum has more than 250 members in approximately 80 countries in Africa, Europe, Latin America and the Caribbean, Asia and the Middle East. It can be stated with pleasure that our membership grown in recent years, and among them African members. And for sure, we welcome more members around the world and here in Africa, as unity gives strength and underpins the impact of the work we are pursuing to reach a more peaceful world. Effective steps to tackle the uncontrolled proliferation of small arms and light weapons are crucial to prevent armed violence globally. In view of the parliamentary roles as the legislative oversight and awareness-raising functions for national implementation of international arms control frameworks, parliamentarians play a vital role. The roles relate to the adoption of relevant legislation and regulation, overseeing implementation and compliance of international and national arms control instruments, holding the government accountable, and raising awareness among all levels of society. Speaking on awareness raising, I invite you to participate in our upcoming social media campaign, Words Over Bullets, raising awareness on the consequences of assault-related violence and the vital role you all can play for a change. And during the coffee break, the team also from the forum will be starting to take photos with hashtags and compiling video clips during the seminar for a launch later this year in December. Related to international peace and security, at this seminar we also aim to address 2 other key concerns. Firstly, the continued low participation of women as active agents in decision-making on peace and security. Given the low numbers of women in parliament worldwide, albeit vast existing competence, we are especially pleased to welcome important women parliamentarians here today. At the same time, we stress the importance of the continued strong involvement and support from male colleagues, as gender equality is a shared societal responsibility, so you are of course also warmly welcome. And the Forum as an organization has a proven track record of involving women politicians, with 28% of women members compared to the global average stated by the Interparliamentary Union, that is of 24%. Secondly, the important but to date neglected role of youth in the prevention and resolution of conflicts. Today's generation of young people is the largest the world has ever known. The Forum recognizes the important and positive contribution of youth in efforts to maintain and promote peace and security, and the conceptual trap that youth are either victims or perpetrators of violence needs to be avoided. We understand that effective institutional arrangement to ensure youth participation in peace-building processes is a significant contribution to international peace and security. We have identified the need for young people and parliamentarians to join forces in order to prevent armed violence. So, thank you so much. Without further ado, I would like to thank you once again. Thank you all for being here and for the vital efforts you are realizing in your respective daily realities and for your continued commitments. I am looking forward to a productive seminar, and I would like to also to link to what I mentioned in the beginning on the importance to never lose the human perspective of these political and thematical issues, and we will briefly look at a short film produced by the Forum that shows some human faces of this dilemma. And I'm looking forward to this seminar, and together we can silence the gun and create a more peaceful world. Thank you very much for your attention.
Den 19 januari 2016, klockan 6 åkte jag och min man hemifrån. Sa hej då till alla barn. Och det sista jag sa till Alejandra var: ta hand om er. Vi ses om en vecka.
Och så säger jag att det kommer någon väldigt hastigt ut från eller alltså från källaren, trapporna, inifrån porten. Och vi märker ju till först att han är maskerad, vad som händer. Men ändå så ska jag hålla upp portdörren till honom. Då drar personen fram ett vapen. Då knuffar min lillebror Robin bort armen. Jag trodde att jag hade dött. Men skottet hade touchat mig här på höger sida. Då ställde jag mig upp igen och vände mig om. Då ser jag att min lillebror står med sina armar utåt. Med pistolen riktat mot sitt huvud. Då vänder han sig mot mig med ett smile och säger någonting. Och då får Robin skottet i huvudet.
Och där satt jag på sjukhuset. En 15-åring död, avrättad, och 20-åring nedsövd med 4 skott. Förlamad. Jag gick sönder, så jag har aldrig trott att en människa kan gå sönder så mycket.
I've seen how society was demolished, how those small arms and light weapons could easily affect on the society without feeling it. And you just suddenly feel you are like in the middle of whole chaos. It kills the society, government's institution, everything just like that was demolished. And the thing with the small arms and light weapons is just like everyone has access to them. And then when it starts, it's so hard to stop it.
As parliamentarians, we have to make sure that the chain is complete, both the process of making, distribution and regulating the industry, and then make sure that the weapons don't end up in the wrong hands.
In the Parliamentary Forum, we are gathering parliamentarians across party political lines around the world. Our objective is to reduce and prevent armed violence with a specific focus on small arms and light weapons. It's very unique because for the first time in Sustainable Development Goal number 16, it is recognized the connection between sustainable development, peace and security, and illicit flows of arms.
Chers honorables, j'invite à présent l'honorable Aboubakar Sidi Kone, président de la commission coopération, a prononcé son discours d'ouverture de l'atelier. Merci. Honorable, je vous en prie.
Merci, Monsieur le Secrétaire général. Son Excellence, très vénérable Pierre Nkolo, président donc du Sénat du Congo. Honorable Raphaël Chegeni, vice-président du Forum parlementaire sur les armes légères et de petit calibre. Madame Karine Olofsson, secrétaire général du Forum parlementaire des armes légères et de petit calibre. Chers membres du bureau, chers collègues parlementaires, mesdames et messieurs, je voudrais, au nom du président du Parlement panafricain, le très vénérable Nkodo Dang, vous exprimer le plaisir et l'insigne honneur que j'ai de prendre la parole à l'occasion de l'ouverture du séminaire régional sous le thème « Renforcement de l'engagement et de l'action des parlements pour des sociétés plus en paix et développer durablement, mise en œuvre du programme de développement durable à l'horizon 2030, du traité sur le commerce des armes et le programme d'action des Nations Unies en vue de prévenir, combattre et éliminer le commerce illicite des armes légères et de petit calibre sous tous ses aspects. Chers collègues, mesdames et messieurs, permettez-moi tout d'abord de vous souhaiter à toutes et à tous la bienvenue au siège du Parlement panafricain ici à Midrand. Je prie Dieu de vous accorder ces bénédictions. Je vous souhaite également la bienvenue au Forum parlementaire sur les armes légères et de petit calibre qui se tient au siège du Parlement panafricain. Je suis conscient du fait qu'il s'agit là du deuxième engagement pris par nos institutions en vue de lutter contre le fléau du commerce illicite des armes légères et de petit calibre. Honorables parlementaires, mesdames et messieurs, l'une des grandes priorités de l'agenda 2063 est une Afrique en paix, en sécurité, débarrassée de conflits. Il est prévu qu'en 2063, le continent aura implanté durablement en son sein une culture de paix où la sécurité et la sûreté des citoyens occupent une place de choix. L'Afrique aura mis en place des mécanismes clés qui veilleront à ce qu'aucune arme ne soit utilisée pour perturber la paix de ses citoyens et assureront que le continent bénéficie de contributions majeures appropriées pour défendre sa sécurité et ses intérêts. Chers collègues, mesdames et messieurs, vous vous souviendrez que l'année dernière, nous avons adopté ici même au sein de ce Parlement le plan d'action parlementaire visant à tracer une voie à suivre pour les actions à entreprendre en vue de mettre fin au commerce illicite des armes. Comme tout plan, nous devons réviser et mettre à jour ce plan en vue d'une action parlementaire continue. L'année prochaine, c'est-à-dire en 2020, le continent devrait faire taire ses armes. Dans cette perspective, je suis fermement convaincu que l'Afrique met tout en œuvre pour honorer son engagement. En outre, le continent a mené une campagne d'amnistie en faveur de toutes les personnes en possession d'armes légères afin qu'elles les rendent sans en subir aucune conséquence. La campagne porte ses fruits, même si cela n'est pas suffisant. J'ai pris note du fait que l'objectif ultime de ce séminaire est d'accroître l'engagement, la compréhension et la participation des parlementaires au traité sur le commerce des armes et au programme d'action des Nations Unies en vue de prévenir, combattre et éliminer le commerce illicite d'armes légères et de petit calibre sous tous ses aspects, et ce, non seulement dans le cadre du programme de développement durable à l'horizon 2030, mais aussi dans le cadre de l'agenda 2063 de l'Union africaine, notre agenda, en effet. En tant que législateurs, nous avons le devoir de promouvoir la ratification des chartes, des traités, des protocoles et des conventions internationaux. Nous sommes aussi le lien direct avec les citoyens et nous sommes leur porte-parole pour exprimer leurs préoccupations et leur faire rapport des actions entreprises par leur gouvernement en vue d'assurer leur bien-être et leur sécurité. Ce séminaire arrive donc à point nommé et s'inscrit dans le cadre du mandat général de l'Union africaine. Au cours de ces 2 jours, les parlementaires seront dotés de connaissances politiques pertinentes pour leur permettre de s'engager à 3 niveaux, international, continental et national. J'ai pris note des différents débats qui vont de la mise en œuvre du programme de développement durable à l'horizon 2030 à l'objectif 16.42 du développement durable ainsi que des expériences nationales que vous allez partager. Le rôle des femmes dans les conflits ne peut être occulté, bien entendu. J'attends donc avec impatience les conclusions de cette réunion et le plan d'action pour l'avenir. Pour terminer, permettez-moi de remercier une fois de plus notre partenaire, le Forum parlementaire sur les armes légères et de petit calibre, et tous ceux qui, d'une manière ou d'une autre, ont facilité l'organisation de ce séminaire. Je n'ai aucun doute que les résultats des travaux de 2 prochains jours donneront aux législateurs les moyens d'influer davantage sur la mise en œuvre du programme de développement durable à l'horizon 2030, du traité sur le commerce des armes et du programme d'action des Nations Unies en vue de prévenir, combattre et éliminer le commerce illicite des armes légères sous tous ses aspects dans leur propre pays. Sur ces quelques remarques, mesdames et messieurs, je déclare officiellement ouverte le séminaire régional et je vous souhaite de délibérations fructueuses. Je vous remercie.
Très vénérable Pierre Ngolo, président du Sénat, Monsieur le président de la Commission de la coopération, Monsieur le vice-président, Monsieur le vice-président du Forum parlementaire sur les armes légères de petit calibre, Madame la secrétaire générale du Forum, chers parlementaires du PAP, chers parlementaires du Forum parlementaire sur les ALPC, nous voici arrivés au terme de la première partie du programme. Nous vous invitons d'abord à une prise de photos de famille, ensuite, juste après, une pause café suivra et nous reviendrons dans cette salle pour entamer la matière en tant que telle, la suite du programme qui commencera par la première séance portant sur le thème « Faire taire les armes en Afrique à l'horizon 2020, mise en œuvre du programme de développement durable à l'horizon 2030 et de l'objectif de développement durable visant à prévenir les violences armées aux ALPC. » Voilà, je vous remercie de votre aimable attention et je vous prie de suivre le photographe pour une photo de groupe. Ensuite, suivra la pause café. Merci.